Attention students, I hope you enjoyed your meal, but at this time, please take your seats. Class is back in session. Class, welcome back to the stage your senior corps members, Miss Tiffany and Mr. Brandon.
I hope everybody enjoyed their lunch. I'm glad that everybody's back to learn a little bit more about idealism.
During lunch, one of you stayed behind to ask Mr. Brennan and myself how one becomes an idealist. We thought long and hard about this question and figured the best way to answer it was to show you.
Right now, we want to introduce one of our fellow corps members who wants to share his story of how he became an idealist. So everybody, please put your hands together and help us welcome our fellow corps member, Mr. Tyrone Lofton.
One thought that comes across my mind a lot is at the age of 14, I anticipated I'd be killed before I turned 21. I do not know if it was just ignorance or because of my environment, but I remember the feeling. For me, growing up in DC wasn't the easiest. My mother is hand impaired and mainly communicates through sign language, which unfortunately I don't understand. So throughout my life, we haven't been able to communicate very well. And because of that, we haven't always seen eye to eye. She couldn't help with my homework, so I ultimately my grandmother helped me with things. I also spent a lot of time moving back and forth between my mother's and father's places. I felt like I was working every minute to bring stability to my life. Because of the instability, the only person other than my grandmother that had a voice of guidance was my cousin. I looked up to him. He was a role model. He also was a drug dealer. I remember asking him one day, "Are you still playing football?" And his response was, "No, I'm a drug dealer." More and more I saw my friends get in trouble and found myself surrounded by bad influences. I realized this wasn't the life I wanted for myself when in 6th grade, my friend Rob was killed. His parents had bought him a new coat for Christmas, and when someone took it, he tried to take it back. Unfortunately, the robbers called up to him, assaulted him, and shot him 2 times in the head. Rob's murder was a wake-up call. I realized I didn't want my little brother to know me as a dead brother. I wanted him to know me as a leader. So I began to focus more on my academics and distance myself away from negative influences. I got into school and began studying to become a doctor. Unfortunately, I couldn't continue to pay my tuition, so I had to leave school and come home. Instability seemed to be the shadow that continued to follow me. But I refused to let that discourage me. I was determined to be a role model to my brother. And I'm proud to say 10 months ago, I joined City of Washington, D.C. to be a real live role model to my brother and the hundreds of other children growing up in the neighborhoods and schools I grew up in. Good evening. My name is Tyrone Lofton, and I'm 22 years old from Washington, D.C. And I am a City of Corps member. This year is special to me because I'm not just serving a community, I'm serving my community. I'm working in the neighborhood I live in, serving at Winston Education Campus, a school I attended. I feel lucky this year because I'm also serving as a mentor and tutor in the 6th grade classroom that I wanted to be in during 6th grade, Ms. Rummer's class. She was known for being a good teacher and also talking to the kids about the social aspect of life, not just school. And besides, she wasn't the discouraged 6th grade teacher I had. I work with my students addressing the early dropout indicators such as poor attendance, disruptive behavior, course failure and math literacy by providing academic support and being the positive male role model. When the school day ends at 4 p.m., I also help run an after-school program. I'm with some students from 8 in the morning to 6 at night, and for some of them, I'm the only adult they see consistently from days beginning to end. To actually witness the effect on these students, my students, is rewarding to my heart. One particular student exemplifies the impact I'm having with my class. I was warned about Tasha before I met her. She was known around school to be disruptive, talking back and disobeying everyone. And when I met her, oh yeah, she lived up to her reputation. She was so disruptive and late all the time, I couldn't have my small group sessions. One day early in the year, she let her frustrations get to her and stormed out in the middle of the lesson. I followed her into the hall so Ms. Merman could finish teaching the lessons to the rest of the students. I sat with Tasha, explaining to her why her teacher and I demanded excellence, because we cared about her and wanted to see her succeed. She rolled her eyes at me as my words seemed to go in one ear and out the other. Interactions like this dictated our relationship, not allowing me to reach her or help her as a student. One Saturday, a month into serving at Winston, I was walking to the barber shop in my neighborhood, and I saw Tasha walking down the street and said hello. She was shocked and excited to know that I was from the neighborhood. I remember her saying with disbelief, "Mr. Lofton?" That Monday, she came to school on time. She started being less disruptive and haven't been in trouble with my teacher since. She's also meticulously enrolled in class, making sure that other students are not misbehaving and telling them about the importance of listening. I don't want to take all the credit for Tasha's improvements, but after she saw me in the neighborhood, she treated me with a new sense of respect. That chance to kind of change our relationship. She knows I understand where she comes from because I came from there too. She reaches out to me more, trusts me more, and as a result, focuses more on academics. Her turnaround not only affected her, it's affected our whole class. Ms. Verman can focus on teaching everyone, and I can work with more students because I'm not as focused on Tasha's behavior. I can help more students with the academics, and all my students are making progress academically, and I'm so proud of them. From the beginning of the year to mid-year, 67% of the students in my class either improved with a level or remained proficient on the DC-BAS standardized test. And the changes we are making is not just in my classroom. In fact, I'm happy to report 100% of the students that my teammates and I work with at Winston improved the level on their DIBELS literacy assessment. As I said before, I joined City to be a role model to my brother. But what I realize is, by being a core member, I'm also a role model to my community. I'm leaving a legacy behind, knowing that I affected Tasha and other students at Winston. I'm also taking something with me. Through my service, I became a better leader and the brother that I wanted to be. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome from DC Public Schools, Deputy Chief of Teaching and Learning, Linda Farrell, and Manager of Strategic Academic Initiatives, Abby Goldstein.